In the fall of 1983, two friends were trying to entertain themselves and in the process wound up creating a worldwide sensation that would develop a multi-generational fan base and take them from struggling artists to the owners of the hottest creator-owned property in the history of comics. In this video, I'm counting down the top 10 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle comics every TMNT fan should have in their collection. From the release of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1 in May of 1984, the Turtles were an overnight success, selling through multiple printings of issues 1 through 7. By May of 1987, a second comic book series, Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, was released, and a cartoon series was in development that would take the Turtles from a comic series meant for older audiences to a kid-friendly property that would make the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles a household name. If you grew up with the Turtles like I did, or if you're just looking to diversify your collection, here are the top 10 TMNT comics for the comic book collector. And if you hang around till the end of the video, I'll give you a bonus 3 comics that didn't make the top 10 but deserve an honorable mention. Starting off the list in the number 10 spot is a book that is a borderline mythical creature, Gobbledygook #1. Self-published and self-produced by Mirage Studios in January of 1984, this issue is little more than a bunch of photocopied pages that are stapled together. Featuring the first story and cover appearance of Fugitoid, a character that would soon be incorporated into the Turtles universe, Gobbledygook #1 is most well known for its back cover, which featured a promo for the upcoming Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1. Very few copies of this book were made, and even fewer remain today. I was fortunate enough to actually get my hands on a copy of this book at Planet Comic-Con, Kansas City 2019. I was in Kevin Eastman's line when I noticed somebody in front of me in line shuffling some items around that he was going to have signed. I nearly fell over when I realized what one of those books was. It was a Gobbledygook #1. I struck up a conversation with the guy, and the owner was nice enough to bring it by my booth later in the show so I could take a closer look. My show was made. While copies do occasionally come up for sale, be prepared to spend 4 figures on a copy if you ever have the opportunity to pick one up. One of the Turtles' most popular villains is Slash, who makes his first comic book appearance in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Adventures #23. In this issue, Slash is revealed to be an alien snapping turtle who has found his way to Earth with the help of Krang after his home planet is destroyed. With Krang being Krang, Slash was set on a course that led him into conflict with the Ninja Turtles. This story continues in TMNT Adventures 24, where Slash actually makes his first cover appearance. Issue 23 is really quite affordable, coming in at just $10 for a high-grade copy, but with Slash's popularity, it's a great book to pick up for your Ninja Turtle collection and could be primed for a value increase if the character ever makes it into a major TMNT movie project. The number 8 book on the list is Tales from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #6, which features the first appearance of Leatherhead, the anthropomorphic, sometimes friend, sometimes foe of the Ninja Turtles. Created when the Utroms exposed a young alligator to mutagen, this version of Leatherhead is closely associated with the Utroms, the brain-like race of beings that Krang originates from. Leatherhead has also appeared in multiple series of the comics and TMNT cartoons. Published in August of 1988, Tales of the TMNT #6 will set you back about $30 for a high-grade copy and is the most valuable issue of the short-lived series. If you're enjoying the video so far, be sure to hit the like button. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel and click on the notification bell so that you never miss one of our videos. If you're already a subscriber, thank you for being a part of the community, and if you'd like a chance for a shout out in one of our upcoming videos, share this video on your social media and tag us in the post. Sharing out our content is a great way you can help support the channel's growth. And now, let's get back into the list. The Foot Clan have long been a thorn in the side of the Turtles. Following the death of Shredder, Spoiler alert, the Foot Clan of New York begin to break apart into different factions which often battled each other. Our number 7 book, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 53, introduces Karai, a leader of the Foot Clan from Japan who comes to New York to restore order to the fractured Foot Clan. There have been many different interpretations of the Karai character across the comic book, movie, and different television projects. Fans of the 2012 TMNT cartoon even know a version of the character that was supposedly the daughter of Splinter, but had been kidnapped as an infant and raised by the Shredder. Despite the numerous interpretations of Karai, the character's first appearance in the November 1992 issue of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is a worthy addition to every Turtle fan's comic collection. This later issue can be somewhat challenging to track down, and when found, can often be overpriced. I'm looking at you, eBay. But with patience and a little luck, you should be able to pick up a high-grade raw copy of this book for around $25. Coming in at the number 6 spot is an issue with cover art that I absolutely guarantee everyone who is even remotely aware of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles has seen before. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 4, the 3rd printing, released in May of 1987. This cover is nearly as iconic as TMNT number 1, as it was used as promotional art on a wide range of TMNT items. Most notably for this guy, the cover art to the original NES TMNT game and the Konami handheld game, which was released around the same time. This reprint is one of a fairly limited number of subsequent printings that is actually more valuable than the original first printing of the book. And for TMNT number 4 3rd print, it's all about that classic cover. Currently, a high-grade raw copy of the 3rd printing will set you back between $175 and $200, while the first printing of issue number 4 is a $150 book and high grade. A classic cover that will set off the nostalgia every time you see it. This book should be in the collection of every TMNT collector. Fighting its way into the top half of the list in the number 5 spot is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Adventures number 1. Now this may be a little confusing at first, as the ongoing series of TMNT Adventures is actually volume number 2. TMNT Adventures Volume 1 is actually a 3-issue miniseries that began when issue number 1 hit the stands in August of 1988. TMNT Adventures number 1 is the first time we see a number of things that are commonly associated with the Ninja Turtles as pop culture knows them today. First and foremost, this is the first time we see the 4 turtles wearing different colored bandanas. Fans of the original Mirage comics were accustomed to seeing all 4 turtles wearing a red bandana on the comic covers up to that point. I say covers because the inside was black and white. The only time you saw the turtles in color was on the cover. With the approaching TMNT cartoon series, it was determined that the turtles needed a way to be differentiated from each other than what weapons they were using, so that kids could tell the characters apart. In addition to the colored bandanas, several classic TMNT villains make their first comic book appearances in this issue. It is here in this issue that we first meet Rocksteady, Bebop, and Krang. Currently, this book is one of the hottest TMNT issues in the market, with sales regularly over $100, typically in the $150 range. There are a few different variations to be had: a Canadian price variant, a bagged promotional 3-pack, and a newsstand edition if you're a collector of such things or a completionist, but the prices tend to be higher yet for those less common copies. The most unusual book on the list lands in the number 4 spot, Turtlemania Special number 1. Released in 1986 by Metropolis Comics under the leadership of Robert Wilson, this one-shot features several sketches, pin-ups, and short stories featuring the Turtles and other characters such as Cerebus the Aardvark and the Flaming Carrot. 3 versions of this book exist. All of them have very small print runs, with the standard white edition having a print run of 3,000 copies, the silver edition with a gray cover and a print run of 100, all of which are signed and numbered on the back by Eastman and Laird, and finally the super limited gold edition with only 10 copies produced. Each gold edition copy included a sketched back cover from Eastman or Laird. In fact, gold copies are so hard to come by that of the 10, number 5 is yet to surface. The other 9 have all been photographed at a minimum, while many of them have been certified by CGC. So if you have a lead on Turtlemania number 1, gold edition number 5, give us a call. There are a lot of us TMNT fans that just want to see a picture of the back cover. With prices for high-grade raw copies ranging from $400 for the white edition, $1,000 plus for the silver, and $4,000 plus, and I'll take the over on this one, for a gold edition of Turtlemania. This issue will likely be one of the more unique issues in your collection if you're able to track one down. Coming in at number 3 on the list is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 2. This issue, released in October of 1984, features the second appearance of the Ninja Turtles and the first appearances of April O'Neil, Baxter Stockman, and the Turtles' longtime mechanical menaces, the Mousers. Following the success of the series' first issue, TMNT number 2 received pre-orders totaling more than 15,000 copies, which led creators Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird to begin focusing full-time on continuing the story of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Eastman quit his job and moved to Connecticut after Laird determined that the profit from the pre-orders would be sufficient to provide both of them with a sum of $2,000. In 2020 dollars, that's more than $5,000 for that single printing of issue number 2. It's not a bad payout for an aspiring artist. The challenge with this was not designed to be an ongoing story originally. The main villain died at the end of the first issue. Beginning with issue number 2, Eastman and Laird began expanding out the TMNT universe beyond their original 40-page story and were able to explore the characters at a deeper level. New villains, new supporting characters, and character development filled these early issues of TMNT. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 2 would go on to sell through 3 printings, with the first 2 print runs totaling 45,000 copies, and is one of the most collectible issues for a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fan. With the state of flux the market is currently in for TMNT issues, a high-grade copy of TMNT number 2 first printing will run you an excess of $1,000, with recent CGC 9.8 sales exceeding $3,500. However, if you're a budget-minded collector, the second printing features the original cover, and it can be had at a significant discount compared to a first print. The second most collectible book when it comes to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is indisputably Raphael number 1. This 1985 one-shot issue is not only the 4th appearance of the Ninja Turtles, it also features the first appearance from one of their most iconic supporting characters, Casey Jones. Casey Jones is a visually appealing character with his hockey mask and golf bag full of sports equipment, which he uses to dispatch his own form of vigilante justice. Jones is a more violent and a more unhinged version of Raphael, and the two spend a majority of this issue trying to best each other before partnering up to fight crime together in the end. First of the individual Turtle Micro Series one-shots, the print run for Raphael number 1 was 60,000 copies, outpacing the total number of printed copies for TMNT number 1's first 3 printings by more than a third. Sales volume and prices for Raphael number 1 have been exploding since the summer of 2020. Prior to July of 2020, there had been no recorded sale for the book that was above $1,000. In mid-September 2020, a CGC 9.8 copy sold for $2,200. This is the most recent sale for a copy in grade at the time of recording this video. Since then, a CGC 9.6 copy has sold in November of 2020 for $2,651. Raw high-grade copies are currently bringing more than $1,000, with mid-grade sales ranging from the mid to upper hundreds. The number 1 book on this list is certainly no surprise. The holy grail for the Ninja Turtles collector is TMNT number 1 first print. With a total print run of 3,275 issues, supply is severely outweighed by demand. Published in May of 1984, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1 introduces the reader to the 4 Turtles: Leonardo, Michelangelo, Raphael, and Donatello, along with Master Splinter, the Shredder, and the Foot Clan. Originally envisioned as a self-contained, single-issue story, we learn the origin of the Turtles' creation and the background of the conflict between Hamato Yoshi and Oroku Nagi that led to Oroku Saki becoming the Shredder. It is then that the Turtles face off with the Shredder to avenge the murder of Splinter's former master. An origin story that has been tweaked and adjusted many times over the years, the Turtles' original comic book origin story is certainly not the kid-friendly tale that many of us grew up with. Borrowing from the gritty ninja sandbox of Frank Miller's Daredevil and the dynamic visual stylings of Jack Kirby, Eastman and Laird did not hold anything back from this premiere issue. Quickly selling through the first printing, a second print run of 6,000 issues was produced, and then ultimately a third printing of 35,000. A subsequent fourth and fifth printings would feature different covers from the first 3 printings and would shrink down to normal comic book size. The few sales that have taken place in the market for first prints have posted incredible sales in 2020. The most recent sale of a first print TMNT #1, as of the recording of this video, was for a CGC 6.5 sold in early December 2020 by Comic Link for a record price of $11,350. Other recent sales include a December 2020 sale of a CGC 8.0 for $16,295, a CGC 7.0 sold in November 2020 for $15,600, while a CGC 5.5 copy sold for $11,250 in November of 2020. It is safe to say that the current market value of a TMNT #1 first printing is however much money it takes to convince someone to sell it. With the volatility in value, sellers have been few and far between, while buyers continue to get in line for an opportunity to add this copper-age juggernaut to their collection, including me. Make no doubt about it, TMNT #1 is the premier Copper Age comic book. I want to give a quick shout out to Vincent Hall and Phil, who both recently posted comments on some of our previous content. Thanks to both of you and the rest of the community for taking the time to like, share, and comment on our videos and posts. All of this helps to support the channel by letting YouTube know you're enjoying our content. And now for our honorable mentions. First up is Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #4, the first appearance of the villain Rat King. Next up is TMNT #3, which features the first appearance of the Utrams, the brain-like race of Krang. Last but not least is a modern TMNT issue for you, TMNT #95 from the IDW series, which features the first appearance of Jennika as the 5th Ninja Turtle. After more than 30 years, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles remain one of the most beloved intellectual properties in the marketplace. Few pop culture phenoms transcend generations the way the Turtles continue to do. From comics, cartoons, and action figures, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles have left their mark on collectors in more than one way. As the speculation-driven comic book market continues to search for the next big thing, the undervalued TMNT comics are finally enjoying their moment in the spotlight. Are we nearing the peak for prices? Will the value of these books come back down anytime soon? No one knows for sure, but I'm not going to hold my breath. I hope you enjoyed the video, as it's a little different than our usual content. Let me know in the comments if you would like to see additional content focused on collecting certain titles or characters, in addition to our regular comics to invest in videos. Don't forget to collect responsibly, and I'll see you in the next video.